Hey, this is Steve, and welcome back to Triple B, where board games, bourbons, and beers collide. These showcase videos are meant to be a quick, easy to follow introduction to a board game, and we then pair that board game with a bourbon or beer in order to inform you and help you decide on what to pick for that next game night experience. In this episode, we are pairing the 1 to 4 player game, Cascadia, with Old Elk blended straight bourbon whiskey. Cascadia is a tile and token laying game from AEG and Flat Out Games and designed by Randy Flynn. Based on the natural beauty of the Pacific Northwest, Cascadia is a simple game to learn, but deep in strategy as you and the other players create your own individual environments in front of you and react to the ever-changing options of these wildlife tokens and these habitat tiles presented to you during your turn. A lot of planning and replanning during the game will be key to victory. Old Elk was an obvious pick as this thematic pairing with Cascadia helps set the stage for a smooth indulgence as you develop and grow your environment during the game. Old Elk is distilled and aged in Fort Collins, Colorado, a place I've frequented during my first years in my Air Force career. The natural beauty of the surrounding area is second to none, much like the Pacific Northwest. I'm confident that this pairing will be a hit with your friends, family, and coworkers. So let's dive into the pairing and see exactly how. Cascadia is a captivating board game that immerses players in the beauty and complexity of the Pacific Northwest's diverse environment. This game is not only visually stunning, but also offers a unique and engaging gameplay experience. I'm going to give you a quick overview of the game. If you want more details, of course, ask away in the comments section of this video. I also put all the components a little closer together here for the purposes of this overview. Just know when you play the game with other players, these pieces are kind of spread out a little more. So the game of Cascadia, it's very simple actually. On your turn, you pick one of these. You pick from one of these 4 habitat tiles that's available to you, and you grab the corresponding wildlife token that's below it. Once you do that, you come over to your environment, and everyone has a starting environment tile that's unique and different. And each starting tile, which obviously you can see here, a starting tile is actually 3 tiles in one, because kind of just gives you a starting point at the beginning of the game. You take your habitat tile that you picked and you can put it edgewise off of any tile that you want. You do not have to match the terrain that's underneath. For example, right here, you can put it anywhere you want, but you kind of want to match it, and I'll talk about that here in a second. So for right now, let's just put them right here. Then you take your wildlife token that you picked and you put it down on a tile that has the matching symbology. Here it's really simple. There's only one that has the salmon depicted on it, so we have to put it right here. And that's it. That is your turn. That's all you have to do. Now you just replace the tile that you picked from these piles here, and then you go into the bag and replace the animal token, the wildlife token, like that, and boom, now it's the next player's turn. That is just that easy. Each player would do this exactly 20 times, and then the game is over. Simple, right? Not exactly. So though the mechanisms to the game is very simple, there is absolutely tons of strategy behind the game that you'll realize quickly as you progress throughout the game. You actually get points for matching the patterns that are on these animals. For example, throughout the game, if you have 2 grizzly bears next to each other, which is a pair of grizzly bears, for each pair of grizzly bears, you get higher points. So one pair at the end of the game, you only get 4 points. So as you put those 20 tiles down, your environment's going to get really big. But if you have 4 more pairs of bears, you get 27 points. But look at the requirement. Your pairs of bears can't touch any other bears. So if you do, then those pairs don't count. So each one of these animals has a unique pattern that you need to try to fulfill to maximize your points. And there's also ways to get points through your habitats right here. You get points for each of your largest habitat types, like forest, your largest mountain, you get points for that. But if your mountain, for example, your largest range of mountains or your largest range of forest is larger than any of the other players, you get some bonus points when you compare each of your habitats to the other players. So as the game progresses, you have to pay attention to the other players' placements of their tiles and their wildlife tokens, see what they're trying to fulfill or you believe they're trying to fulfill as it relates to the patterns needed for these animals. And also try to pay attention to see if they're trying to corner the market on a particular habitat, and then you have to make some tough decisions, several decisions throughout the game. Do you want to battle it out with that player to try to go for the largest forest, or do you want to pivot and concentrate on a different habitat as well? Are those bonus points worth it in the long run? Is there a different path to victory you can take? There's tons of pivoting in this game and adjusting strategies, which I really love about this game. And don't forget, knowing how many turns are left is also helpful with your planning and pivoting decision making. So don't let the end game sneak up on you. Again, there are more details to this game than this video allows. I'm trying to keep this video really short, but there are even ways to break the rules of having to pick the top and bottom, tile and token. There's ways to wipe out all 4 of these tokens. If you don't like what you see there, put 4 new ones out from the bag to see if there's something you like. Also, that's also a way to as a take that mechanism, because if you see somebody in front of you that's um, next up on their turn, if there's something here you think they'll like, you can wipe these out and put 4 new ones out that hopefully it's something they don't like and actually causes them to have to change and pivot themselves. There's also even ways to not only take all 4, you can end up just taking just 3, 2, or 1, and then replacing a smaller amount. So there is that. There's also a solo mode to the game, making it enjoyable and relaxing for those who prefer solo gaming experiences. Cascadia's modular design and the variability ensures that each playthrough of the game is different, keeping the game fresh and very much replayable. And to help enhance this relaxing and replayable experience is Old Elk Blended Straight Bourbon, which is a premium American whiskey known for its exceptional quality and rich flavor profile. Crafted with precision and expertise, this bourbon offers a memorable drinking experience. Just in case you didn't know, straight bourbon just means that all the juices, if you will, in the bourbon meet the requirement to be a proper bourbon to include aged for at least 2 years. Old Elk bourbons are actually aged for at least 5 years. The blended part just means that the bourbon is a mix of other bourbons in one. But where Old Elk sets themselves apart is what they call their slow cut proofing process, where instead of taking days adding the water to the mix that helps burn off the high proof content during the distillation process, they actually add small increments of water over weeks' time, which helps burn off the high proof slowly, thus keeping more of the delicious flavor in the finished bourbon. They top it off by adding 4 times more malted barley, which makes it sweeter and lighter than most bourbons. As the bourbon ages in new charred American oak barrels, allowing it to develop a deep amber hue and absorb the flavors of the wood, it is done like this, like I said, for a minimum of 5 years, though some special bourbons in their lineup may be aged longer to enhance complexity, which bourbon makers often do. And Old Elk has a good group of more specialized bourbons that I'll leave for you to discover on your own. Just head over to their website for more details. In the meanwhile, let me tell you a little bit more. Upon pouring a glass of this staple variation of their lineup, you'll immediately notice its inviting aroma. I often detect notes of caramel, vanilla, and of course oak with a hint of spice from the rye. It is smooth and rich with flavors of toffee, butterscotch, and toasted oak hitting your palate. The rye content provides a gentle peppery kick that adds depth and complexity there as well. Whether you like to enjoy it neat or on the rocks or in a cocktail, Old Elk Straight Bourbon offers a delightful drinking experience for whiskey enthusiasts and newcomers alike. Its smoothness, balanced flavor, and meticulous craftsmanship make it a standout choice in the world of American bourbon, a true testament to the art of distillation and aging. So whether you're a bourbon connoisseur or a board game enthusiast, this pairing offers a unique and enjoyable way to unwind and appreciate the finer aspects of life and nature. That's it for now. Join us next time, but until then, make sure you like this video and leave a comment or question. Also, like and follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It would really help us out. While you're there, check out the other pairings and the videos posted there as well. If you want to email us, you can do so at tripbgames@gmail.com. Take care and see you next time.